Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Jansen, if you don't know my name, and I haven't done much preparation for this video, but thank you for everyone who's been watching my reels and supporting. It's very much appreciated. Thanks for all the new subscribers supporting me in spreading the word of Christ and hopefully inspiring others to live out the faith. My videos are often quite deep, and they are, hopefully are penetrative. The goal is to not just tell people to believe in Christ, but to get people to understand not just why they should believe necessarily, but what it means to believe. What does it really mean to be a Christian? And also the beauty in the moral aspect of Christ. How should we live? How should we treat people? What state of mind can we be in? What sort of peace can we have because we know we can live in Christ? This is for me the roots of Christianity. All the other things are built off of this foundation. So this video, I remember years and years ago I put something out online talking about people's fear of talking about God. I think I was 16 when I put this out. But people don't want to talk about God. And ignore those birds behind me. What is going on with those birds? Sounds like a bird got attacked. Anyway, people are afraid to talk about God. And in universities and schools, there seems to be this aversion. Let's not talk about it. Let's keep things secular. And let's just focus on the facts. Let's just focus on science. Let's just, like, those things are fine. But we need to open up the conversation to God. But I think what's happened in society is there's a push to get people to stop talking about Christ. To stop talking about the Abrahamic God. We don't want to talk about it anymore. And yet people keep believing. People keep believing in Christ. Because what you will learn from just pursuing facts, it does not tell you how to live. The facts cannot tell you how to live. If you were to build your life on living according to facts, you are going to be firstly overwhelmed by the knowledge in the world, the knowledge that you would need to obtain firstly, to be certain of anything, let's say, and it won't tell you how to value anything, simply according to the facts. So what ends up happening is automatically you start valuing things, whether it's unconsciously or consciously, according to your preferences and according to your pleasure and comfort. And you can fall into these states of nihilism and despair because there's no direction for your life. Life becomes simply reactionary. Whatever happens in my life, I respond to it to lead to more pleasure. There's no direction. And then some people might take a step out of that. They'll put their hearts into their career, into political movements. These things change. And you can put your trust in and heart into entertainment and sport. But then when the storms of life hit you, and you need to figure out who you are and how to direct your life, you're lost. And then you can take it a greater step further. You realize that the heart of life lies, this is what people on their deathbeds will tell you: family, love for their partner, you know, the more beautiful side of life, love, relationships, humility, seeking good in the world. You can spend 70 years chasing pleasure and comfort just to realize at your death that what meant everything was the love that you foster in your heart. And Christ comes and says to everyone, live this way and you will redeem the world. You will be redeemed. Love each other. And it must first come from a love for God, who gives you purpose, direction. And in some ways, that love that you experience in creation points you to God, because you realize there is something meaningful about this. There's something meaningful about this newborn baby. A human being has inherent value. These things become so fundamental and intuitive to us that we cannot deny them, and it points us toward God. And Christ comes in history. He comes in the flesh, and he tells us, live this way. Live this way and you will know God. Anyway, sorry, I just started preaching. But I'm gonna make more videos like this. I want to get people thinking about God. That is all I want to do. I cannot convince someone to believe in Christ. I cannot in my own power reframe your mind. I cannot make you value Christ over everything else. But I'd like to get the conversation going. We need to talk about God. We need to. And there needs to be more of a acknowledgement that the case for Christ is there. Christ is not just a fairy tale. As much as even myself have tried to make it seem that way. He pierces our hearts and he's come in the flesh. And we need to make sense of how we're going to approach politics and how we're going to, all these things. The society is deteriorating. Things, if you look at the news every day, society is gone. Our only hope is Christ. So there's really two options. There's a despair, or the clinging to hope, which is Christ. And it's a real hope. It's a hope that came in the flesh and died for you in the first century. Died for you. Live this way. This is the only hope. This is how you redeem the world. Live and die for each other. And the funny thing is, when you live in this way, you are prepared to die. You become so obsessed and filled with love that you are willing to die for someone. You are willing to die for Christ as well, of course. And the way we cling onto the world, we're clinging for pleasure, comfort, whatever it may be. Almost in a way that we want to stay alive. These things are keeping us alive. Otherwise we go and drink ourselves to depression. We cling to these pleasures to keep us alive. Mentally and physically or whatever. But when you have the love of Christ in you, you can die freely. You can be full with the power where, like in the passion of Christ, Pontius Pilate says, I'm about to crucify you and you have nothing to say. And Christ says, you have no power over me. You can live that way if you live in Christ. Let's talk about God. Let's acknowledge this Jesus Christ. In many ways, it's absurd that a man who dies on a tree is the hope for the world. But let's talk about it and let's share the good news. And hopefully, people will be healed and they will believe. God bless.